How are you doing?
Deryn?
Welcome to the Gravy Club.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Any idea why you're here?
Well, as you know, I love gravy.
I like a club, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you like a lot of gravy on your biscuit,
Join the club.
join the gravy
Oh my
club.
God, that's the tagline,
That's
everyone.
it.
That's what we're here to do.
And no one's ever used that phrase before. No,
No.
kind of major biscuit company
No.
or anything like
No.
that. So we're kind of free to use that, I presume.
This is my friend Kate, in that camera there. My name's Deryn, and this is a brand new podcast, isn't it?
It is.
Where we basically think out loud, make a bit of a mess, and maybe even learn something.
Yeah.
That's literally as far as we've got, guys, so don't get your hopes up. So
Yeah.
it's kind of free-flowing here.
I suppose we better tell the people at home how we know each other, how we've ended up being on this Gravy Club podcast.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a long time, haven't we?
I think it's 9 years.
That's scary.
Maybe we bumped into each other somewhere. My memory of meeting you is stood outside Big Shots.
Big Shots Coffee, yeah.
And it was raining and I had an umbrella. We were talking in the rain and everything, making it sound kind of romantic.
Yeah, a little
but,
bit.
Yeah, talking about how we were both going freelance, going on our own in the creative world in quite a small town in Calderdale.
Although we were terrified of networking, like 6 months later, we decided to set up our own
Yeah.
networking group.
In some ways, that felt less scary. I think in some ways, I used to talk myself out of going to networking all the time. But if I knew if I had my own, I couldn't talk myself out of it because 20 odd people are going to come and I can't just not turn up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it forced me to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started our own networking event.
And I think at the time we knew very little about the local area, business landscape or creative industry, or at least here.
Yeah.
And we had a few surprises, didn't we? Because
Yeah,
I think our respective networking kind of branched out from there, and we went out to speak to all the kind of weird and wonderful characters in Brighouse. And there's quite a few, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Where do we even start?
Back then, I don't know if you remember as well, networking felt a lot more popular and it felt a lot more inclusive in terms of the different sizes of businesses. So you could get the CEO of an SME that's got 300 staff with also a wizard selling blessed sticks.
Yeah, more on that later.
Yeah.
That's actually a true story.
That's not just a random thing I said there. We will be talking about that later.
I can't wait to get to the wizards.
And so for us, when we're trying to look for work, you don't know who you're talking to in a way.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us about some of the people you met?
Yeah, so I could always delve further into the wizard stick guy. So as it sounds, he was a wizard with sticks and he was trying to set up a business selling these sticks to people. So someone might email him, or he had a shop, an online shop.
Right, is it still live?
So-
Can we put like a link?
I'll have to try and find that. Would be amazing.
Yeah,
I hope he's still going and like COVID didn't kill his business off or anything.
No, surely not.
Maybe.
Then if there's a time for a wizard stick, it's during a pandemic.
Exactly, yeah, when everyone's just gone mad anyway. And he had an online shop and he was selling sticks. And when I say sticks, like just twigs you'd find in your garden, like even a dog would probably not bother with it. They were that rubbish.
Did he put little swirls on them,
Nothing like
decorate
that.
them,
No,
little
no,
jewels
no,
on
no.
the end of them?
No.
Right, just sticks.
He blessed them because he said he was a proper wizard. So
How much is a
like
wizard
40
stick?
quid.
40 quid?
Yeah.
What did it do?
Well, he just said it was whatever you wanted him to do. Anyway, he asked me, could you have a look at my website? My website's not doing very well on sales. I was thinking, I don't think even my amazing skills could help you out really with the sales of your sticks.
If only he knew a fucking wizard, then he'd be able to sort it out, right?
A web wizard was what he was looking for. And he was after a grant as well from the council, and he was complaining that the council had turned him down because they said it wasn't a proper business. And he was a very angry man.
Yeah, very angry
Very
wizard.
angry wizard, yeah. And I thought, I don't think anyone would even want such angry sticks.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
you,
it's
you
bad
know?
juju,
It was
man.
bad juju. Like
Yeah,
the vibes around it were bad.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were kind of drunk as well, and you're like drunk online shopping, and you bought yourself one of these twigs, but a week's passed and then it comes in the post and you've got no idea why a twig's just landed through your door.
Yeah, I did that with 3 books on brutalist architecture once.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah. I was doing some decorating. I was deliriously tired. I'd had a few beers, and then parcel came the next day with the frequently bought together.
Yeah. So you just went, yep.
Because I'm looking at my conservatory going, that definitely looks like the Barbican, right? So I'm like, I must have gone down some kind of rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They were good.
That was a good purchase.
I think they might have missed down there somewhere. Yeah. How many wizards are in Brighouse anyway?
I think it was 6.
Right. Okay.
But I think it's dropped a bit now over the years.
Into gang war kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's typical, man.
Turf stuff. So it's postcode stuff in it with wizards. And you've never met a wizard yourself?
No. I came close to meeting a few wizards, in that they were very elderly, very wise.
Is that where the word wizard comes from? Wisdom.
They're not wise.
He wasn't wise, that one.
No, not at 40 quid, mate. He's missing a trick there. He didn't even do any 2-for-1s or like that.
No, we might. That would be a good idea. Yeah. Black Friday last week.
Yeah, what an idiot. Stupid wizard. I remember you might have met the guy as well. I had a very productive meeting with a budding ghost hunter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because I think he had like a few business cards for different ventures, and the one that he really wanted video support with was his ghost hunting. Do you know the guy?
I was ready for that.
Yeah?
I really, really wanted it.
Oh, you're a bit of a spiritual mystic kind of person.
Ghost.
So what happened? Did you get involved?
He asked me to get involved. I can't remember what he wanted. He'd had a previous venture.
Right.
And I almost got involved with that. Right. So then he said, I'm doing this ghost thing. And I was like, I don't even need to hear anymore.
Right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And then I think you mentioned, but this guy who wants a ghost TV program.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he wanted a pilot. I think you were going straight to Sky.
Do you remember he said he was trying to do that for his shed or something like that? He had a shed in his garden. He said he does all of his thinking and his filming in there.
Right. No, I never got to the shed part.
Oh, right.
No, I never got to. It sounds a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Speaking of danger, you've got quite a tale to tell, haven't you, from the networking days?
Yeah. I was just going to say, at least he didn't invite me to that shed. I can imagine there'd be chainsaws in that shed. Yeah. And I'm now traumatised by Trek chainsaws.
Why don't you tell the people who are dying to know, why are you scared of chainsaws, and what does that have to do with business networking? And what does that have to do with business networking in Brighouse?
Yeah, in the creative world as well. I'm actually frightened to tell people this story in case my mum and dad hears it and just get so worried about me being out in the real world. For it to have even happened, I was too young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be going out visiting clients in these circumstances. Anyway, he was in the kind of painting and decorating field. He asked to meet me in Leeds in a coffee shop.
Okay.
Perfect.
Normal.
Which is now what I know to be the safest way to do things like that. And then of the morning of meeting him, he sent me a message saying, don't think I can make it into Leeds today. You don't mind just popping around my house, do you? And I don't know why, but nothing entered my head to say, bit weird. So I was thinking, yeah, of course, yeah, what's your address? Got to his house. He answers the door and he's in like PJs, but there's holes all in his trousers and stuff and stains on them.
Nice.
And he went, oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot you were coming round. I thought, how could you message me half an hour ago saying to me rearranged so you come to my house? I still went in the little land area hall bit where all of his weird shoes were.
Hang on. Why are his shoes weird?
I guess they were just normal shoes, but because he was weird, the shoes become weird. Because they're just associated with him.
On your growing list of concerns, holy pajamas, climbing out of bed, forgot
them weird shoes. Yeah. He's like, come in the living room, but he's kind of tied in a little bit, like scrambling tied in front of me. But there's no point because it's an absolute.
Right.
Honestly, I've never seen that show where it's all grime. I can't remember what it was called now.
Like hoarders.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It was like
a hoarder. So what was he tied in?
He was kind of hoarding hundreds of glasses of wine, basically.
All right. Okay.
All just not drunk. They're all kind of fermenting and smelling a bit like pee. But that kind of wasn't that bad because what was making things really bad was the chainsaw in the middle of the living room on plastic sheets, no less.
Yeah.
It was on plastic sheets like that on the floor right in the middle of the living room. And then just crap everywhere, like hoarder type style. No offense to any hoarders.
Yeah, or chainsaw murderers.
So my heart was like really going because I thought, right, that's not normal. That's not a place you store a chainsaw, is it?
All my weird shoes.
You would think, wouldn't you? He didn't mention it. Neither of us mentioned it. But he said, come into the kitchen, I'll make you a brew. Bro, like walking past the chainsaw, kind of like, why has he not mentioned that? Like, I think I'd feel better if he'd said, sorry about that chainsaw being there. But it's the fact he didn't even acknowledge it. So we go into the kitchen and immediately he's telling me about his bad back and everything. He's got a pornography addiction. And I was like, I'm not freaking you out on mine. I'm like, no.
How far into the conversation was this?
Honestly, minutes.
Minutes,
yeah.
Right.
And that was all in the time it took for him to boil the kettle. So I knew quite a lot about him at that point. Right. He was asking me all sorts of personal things about partners I've been with. It was mental. And I think he could see that I was kind of shaking, like holding my tea. And I remember talking to him for a long time. I kept trying to steer him on to this logo then. But knowing deep down, you've not got a bloody business.
No.
This isn't.
Unless his business is just killing people.
Yeah.
Killing people's mad business.
Yeah.
So how did you wrap this up? How did you get out of there?
I honestly feel like I was saved by the Royal Mail. And there's a knock on the door, and I remember thinking, he's brought more people.
Oh my God.
And when he got up and answered the door, and I saw that flash of beautiful red Royal Mail uniform, I just bolted.
No
I saw
way.
my opportunity and just ran out the door.
Wow. Just got out of there.
Just got out of there and ran straight into my car. And
Wow.
the guy was at the front door going, where are you going? Like that at me. Wow. I said, where do you think I'm going? You know? But later in the day, he then sent me a message saying we didn't get around to talking about that. And I go, not even joking. I know what's weird. Even though he was crazy and put the absolute bejesus into me, I'm still worried he might listen to this and it might hurt his feelings.
That's very considerate.
It's nice.
Yeah, that is very considerate.
But I always
what would you say to our mate if he was watching the Gravy Club right now?
This guy?
Yeah.
I'd just say, you know, if you really did the logo, if you're out there, I'm still open for business. Don't go down the AI route, but we'll meet in Costa this time. Yeah. And don't feel offended by me telling this story. And in the future, get rid of your wine glasses and your chainsaw and all that. Don't talk about your online addictions. And just try and be a bit more normal. Yeah. That's what I'd say to him.
You handled that very diplomatically.
Yeah. And you've almost died as well, haven't you, on the job?
I've almost died on the job, yeah. Let me try to think of give you some good examples.
Oh, there's more than one example of you dying on the job?
Probably. I've got a gross one, changing subject. Long story short, I went out to a factory to basically film it. We had a producer that had all the details. I was just there to basically make pretty pictures and make it look good. Got into this factory and it smelled absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what they were making, don't know what they were doing, but it was great. So I started setting up some camera equipment.
Like food smelling?
No, it was like Calpol.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, pink Calpol, like the good stuff. It smells delicious and it's quite a messy factory and there's a lot of stuff on the floor. And I started assembling bits of gear, but some of the equipment that we have is like a dolly track that lives on the floor. So I thought, I'll get that built and then it's kind of just put it to one side and get it out of the way. So I'm splashing about in all this kind of pink liquid on the floor. It smells delicious. I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's like, it smells like soap. Yeah. Like, this is fantastic. Splashing about, got it all over my hands and I'm kind of knelting it a little bit, fixing this thing. And then this bloke walks past. He goes, oh, I wouldn't kneel in that if I were you. I wouldn't go splashing around in that. Like, what is it? And he goes, well, part of our product is we recycle medical gauze. So that is basically that is the scuzz that gets scraped off the top of the machines. It comes out in a bright pink, but it's effectively blood and pus.
No way.
It smells delicious because of the chemicals that they add to it to sterilise it.
Oh, God,
beyond that, to be honest.
That really is horrible.
Yeah.
Did you kind of just look at yourself covered in it?
Yeah, I was just covered in it, soaked in this pink shit. And I'm like,
cool.
I was tempted.
It smelled that good.
A couple more minutes, I'd have had a go on it, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, definitely. But the time that we nearly died, I was on a job in London. Sadly, it was a week after the Tower Bridge terrorist attack. I'm not sure what happened there. Naturally, you're kind of looking over one shoulder anyway. And we're basically filming for a company that's sampling kind of yogurts and treats with commuters as they're coming out. A lot of pink stuff, yeah. Have a go on this, it's great.
Yeah, put you off for life.
Yeah, definitely. And we set up in this little square and we're just flagging down commuters as they're walking past. And then through the headphones, so I kind of looped through a sound recordist, and through the headphones just heard a lot of screaming. So I basically just turned and ran. So me and the sound recorder, we were kind of tethered. So our things were plugged into each other. So I ran that way, he ran that way, and the whole device, camera, everything just broke apart because of the tension of the cables. We kind of plugged it all in. But that was the last thing I was thinking about. So I basically ran into, I think it was like a lobby of a hotel or an office building. As soon as I got in, there was a huge bang. And then everything kind of settled, and then I heard people talking, and we ended up going back outside. And what had happened is exactly where we were stood working. Basically, a huge steel like I-beam had just toppled off the top of the building and just fallen like a pencil, like straight down.
Oh, it was straight down.
Yeah, like and that. Like that scene from Hot Fuzz with the thing. Straight down and just smashed the like tiles where we were stood.
So then it's going to land like that, but then also fall.
Cool. Yeah. So the only reason there was people there to scream in the first place because it was lunchtime. So everybody was sat in this amphitheatre having their lunch, and they had like a long kind of distance view of this thing just falling silently off the building. So they all went, ah! Like, you don't know what to. There's no time to explain. You just make noise.
So you don't know what. You're not going to look up. No,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we just ran, and it fell exactly on the spot where we were stood as well.
No way.
And our client, bless her, she didn't take it well, and that was the last we heard from her. So basically, turned around and she'd gone.
What's she gone? It's just like ran off. Like,
Just gone. Yeah, she's completely gone.
You didn't look under the actual girder.
She wasn't under the girder. She definitely survived. We called our boss and we basically said that we all nearly died and the clients disappeared. So we had little per diems, a little envelope with a few quid in it, and we all went to the pub and just kind of decompressed and talked about what happened.
Per diem?
Per diem?
Yeah, what's that?
Per diem, per day in Latin. Yeah, your per diems, mate.
Per diem.
Yeah, I think so. Someone might want to correct me on that.
Wow.
I think that's where per diem comes
You might
from.
learn something. But you didn't specify that it was me that would be learning.
We did it.
I'm going to go home tonight and be like, me and Darren were just learning some Latin.
Yeah, it's a bit of
teaching
Latin.
me some Latin.
Cultured podcast, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we both nearly died at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that bring us back to what we were talking about?
Us kind of navigating the start of our career a little bit and meeting people, but not knowing if those people were the right people to meet. So like I was saying, you've got the CEO of a big company who might give you tons of work and set you up, or you've got wizard sticks, or you've got someone that might kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't know who's who, so you're taking a punt on anyone who's giving you... I mean, you're quite desperate. I was quite desperate in those days, so it was just anyone.
Yeah. But have you not found that, like, more often than not in those early days, your meeting with the CEO might be completely fruitless? Yeah. But then if you were to entertain something like wizard sticks, then that person might introduce you to somebody who becomes a client. Because a lot of the clients we have today, like, their kind of lineage can be traced all the way back to the early days when we didn't say no to anything.
Yes.
It's just who you learn, who you kind of grow with and who grows alongside you and where that goes.
Absolutely. There's a 6 degree of separation from the networking event we used to run.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. And that is definitely something to keep in your mind. I think for anybody who was like starting out, it's hard to keep saying yes to things when they're not turning into anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you say, you don't know who they might know. Wizard Stick's brother might own a factory that needs 6 promo videos that
Exactly.
week, you know?
Yeah. Next thing you're splashing around in Calpol. Yeah. I actually went against a lot of advice that I got from some of the older and more established people. Maybe it was the CEOs from networking or the more established people in the career who was like bordering on retirement, so they've got a bit more time to go do the networking. And I had a lot of people tell me, you know, don't just say yes to everything and don't just go meet everybody and don't just be the busy fool. I don't know if anyone told you that one, don't be the busy fool. And I'm like, I thought I'd just ignore that because it's like, I'm not doing any business if I'm just sitting waiting for the phone to ring. I'm not learning anything. I'm not growing.
Because I think seeing you don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah. And how are you supposed to navigate something like wizard sticks if you've never met one? Because if you start kind of getting up that ladder to bigger and more kind of fruitful jobs, and then you get a wizard sticks with a budget, you still need the skills.
Everyone needs their own wizard sticks, don't they?
So I suppose to wrap this up, what has your experience of nearly dying and nearly getting killed by a chainsaw wine porn addict, how has that influenced
That's
your
dating profile? That was a big lesson to me, to not ever... it was a way of how to conduct business, a lesson in how to conduct business and how to meet people. It wasn't professional in any sense of the word, so even me agreeing to go to his house, shouldn't have done that. But when you're in that mode of, I've only made 150 quid this month, he still might give me 300 quid.
Yeah,
So I wasn't seeing, just blinkered completely. Although it's good to say yes to everything. Vet the situation first as well. Just do a bit of research, Even it would have been good to have just asked to see his internet search history before I went there.
Yes, difficult one to bring up, that.
It's early on, yeah.
So what have we actually talked about? So we met each other, nearly died, and Brighouse is weird. Is that basically it?
Brighouse is weird. I lived in London for 10 years, and you'd meet the same kind of people often.
I suppose if you went back to London and you told people that you set up a networking group, and amongst the networking group was CEOs, ghost hunters, wizard people, and murderers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they would just think, well, that is the north. Don't think they'd be surprised.
Have you heard of the band My Dying Bride?
No.
Oh, some goth you are. There's a dude with like the forked beard and like leather straps all over him and like these awesome boots that are like kind of from the future. And and you thought it was really cool. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I'm a musician. I'm in a band. I'm just networking and meeting people. And it turns out he's in like one of the a really awesome goth rock band called My Dying Bride that
Wow.
incidentally are from around this neck of the woods. So on that note, that was an amazing episode of the Gravy Club. Thanks so much for coming.
One of my favourite parts was learning the word per diem. Actually, I'm going to change now. My favourite part was not per diem. I liked learning that. But my favourite part was the pink stuff.
The stuff just smelt so harmless, I couldn't possibly picture it ever hurting me. You know, just like, this is just like heaven juice.
Heaven juice?
Yeah. Speaking of heaven juice, going back to networking, because I remember some vague story from the Brighouse days of not the wizard man, but wasn't there someone selling fairy juice at some point? What was that about?
It was like, so fairy juice, she was similar to the wizard, I guess. It was water with food colouring in, but in test tubes.
For quick emergencies.
Yeah, you need some fairy juice.
Yeah.
Paramedics just chucking it on stuff. She said she could talk to fairies, and she was asking the fairies to sprinkle stuff in the juice. And then you would buy that juice and kind of dab it on yourself.
Cool.
And she needed a website.
Did you make it?
Nope.
Damn it.
She thought, she in fact was quite a rude lady, and she told me that was far too expensive. But she was selling her little test tubes of fairy juice for $35.95. And yet I was the expensive one.
Yeah.
And she even came up to me one time at a networking event to tell me just how cheap she'd got her website from somebody else.
Wow.
In a bit of a, so you really are money people off.
Was that other web designer from like a different fantasy realm where, where prices are just different? Because
He was from a 2D world.
I think if there's anything we've established, is Brighouse is not a town, it's actually just like a portal to another dimension.
Yeah.
Where does it end? Where
And
does it
see
stop?
where you would come out if you just went through. Because I've never left Brighouse, so I don't know what's... I came from London and never got out of Brighouse.
Wow. Is that to do with the force field around it? Yeah, you just can't get out. I've tried. I think I've been out.
I can see Huddersfield.
Yeah. But then as soon as you leave, like, look what happens. You step out of Brighouse and things try to kill you.
Yeah.
Things fall off buildings, guys with chainsaws. We should just stay here where we're safe. Wizard sticks and fairy juice are like the essential survival, stick that in your survival belt, because otherwise shit's going to kick. If you need to venture out, you need a wizard stick, you need a survival belt, you need fairy juice, you need
and there's
all this
turning
stuff.
all that down as well.
They were just trying to be helpful.
Did you think there's people walking all around Brighouse with wizard sticks?
I reckon it's standard issue, and we just don't know. we're outsiders because we came in.
You're going to apply for it in the post office.
Yeah. Your prescription fairy juice.
Yeah, we came in. So where did you come from? Huddersfield?
Just over the hill. So I'd moved from Huddersfield for work, but just from Bradford. So just literally the other side of the hill. Ended up in the Calderdale area and then never left.
Yeah.
But isn't that a coincidence?
Exactly. So you've never left, either?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been. I think I went on holiday once on a plane. I don't remember much. It was all a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, I've done that.
But then I just woke up here again.
You don't remember how you got back in?
Nothing. No.
That's something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, on that note, I think we'll call it a day. Cheers, Kate.
Thanks for inviting me to the Gravy Club.
Best episode ever.
Cheers.
Thank you.